Time for Conversations with Corey. Menominee Falls Superintendent Corey Gala is with us. Corey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, John.
As we tape this, it is very, very cold outside. I want to ask you a question that my next door neighbor asked me. How does the district decide when it's too cold for kids to go to school?
With cold, we really have a threshold of when it hits that warning threshold of 35 below zero wind chill. That would be a point where we would be seriously considering a closure. So it doesn't look like we're going to hit that over the next 2 days, but it's cold enough that those questions are coming.
Is it a conversation that districts have that you have with your colleagues and do it collaboratively, or is the district just act unilaterally?
We do, like with last week, we saw as of Monday there was some snow coming in Sunday night, so there starts to be the conversation of whether or not we need to have a snow call, which would be all of the county superintendents discussing their plans and their response. In the end, we didn't have that call. The forecast didn't call for too much snow, so we didn't. But yeah, very collaborative. There's safety in numbers making these decisions.
So when it's a snow issue, is it busing and transportation that also comes into play?
Yeah, it's really, and so much as the timing. Like for example, this week we got not a whole lot of snow, but it hit right at that commute, and a lot of people struggled. So if we see a significant amount of snow coming at that morning commute, that might influence that decision differently.
I continue to be impressed with how the district's handling the COVID situation and how you've worked through this with your teams. What's the update? How are you feeling about how things are in the district?
You know, knock on wood, but we're in a better place right now. And what our particular challenge has been recently has been just like every industry, staffing. Yeah. We had a couple of weeks coming out of the break where we were really struggling. To put that in context, on a typical day in a typical year, if we have 35 absences in a day, we start to get worried. Like it's, you know, it might be challenging to operate schools effectively. We were over 50 absences for a number of days during that period of time. So it was all hands on deck, and kudos to our teachers, our EAs, our administrators. People were stepping in, substitute teaching, doing whatever they could do to keep kids in school. This week we're at much more typical numbers in terms of the number of absences. So right now for us the challenge is staffing, but we're in a better place.
Kudos to you. I heard you were in a classroom.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. On a Friday I did a high school English room, which high school was kind of my wheelhouse, but then on a Monday I came into Ben Franklin and was a substitute second grade teacher for a day, and I was tired at the end of that day. Great kids. Miss Waldeck does a phenomenal job, set me up for success, and all of her colleagues were coming in checking on me. But yeah, I had a board meeting that night and I warned Faith I may be a little sleepy.
Isn't that awesome? You know, you get back to what you did and it gives you a chance to see what your teachers are doing and how your students are doing and how their families are doing. That's cool.
Yeah, the big picture, like my contribution was a drop in the bucket, but it was just a way of saying, I know you're struggling, I know a lot of people, and if it gave someone a break that didn't have to sub that day, that's good. But yeah, what a great way for me to just work with teachers at a different level, just see what they do, experience that, remember how exhausting it is. It was fun.
Could you see doing that more regularly?
Yeah, actually, it's like so much we've learned in COVID. I thought this is maybe the most natural way I've had of just being in a building and connecting with kids and teachers. A walkthrough just sometimes feels superficial, and this felt real.
We're talking to Superintendent Corey Gala. A nice honor for the district. The high school, the Milwaukee Business Journal says, is one of the top 15 in Southeast Wisconsin, top 15 public high schools. How important are those sort of recognitions?
Yeah, we love those. It gives us an opportunity to celebrate, reward people for just the success we're having. It puts things in context to see, okay, we are moving. This one in particular, the Business Journal represents future employers. That's really part of who we serve, is we're trying to make these students ready. So for them to give us that recognition, that's pretty exciting for us.
I wanted to ask you, speaking about the high school, about the Business Academy. I'm so impressed with the academies. I love that model. They've generated a lot of success for students who have gone on to higher education. Talk about the Business Academy and why the academies are so important.
Yeah, the academies, they just are that place where students can really engage in an area where they have an interest or a passion and potentially might be pursuing when they leave us. Students of all levels, because business, there's entry-level positions in business, there's CEOs in business, so Students can kind of imagine what that might look like. It creates a cohort. They're engaged with students and teachers who have a similar passion, and gives them some very real experiences. The great thing about that Business Academy is their capstone is they run that Falls Fan Gear store. So they're dealing with real issues that businesses face. They've got a team of HR that they have to make sure they're staffing, they're getting kids in there. They had supply chain issues. So this has been a challenging year for them because they couldn't get some of the apparel they wanted. They've actually made a change of who their vendor will be that they're purchasing from.
So 52 seniors, they all take part in running that store. Do they have an advisor that helps them work through it? I know they make a lot of the actual decisions though, right?
Yeah, they have, Jill Hughes is the key person in the business department that runs that, but our business department as a whole, as a team, prepares those kids for that. She divides the kids into teams, so there's an HR team, there's a marketing team, there's a team that focuses on purchasing, there's an accounting team. So they can kind of work within the niche of their passion and also get some experiences in those different areas.
I wanted to ask you, there's going to be some change coming to the district. Jeff Netting, after 40 plus years in education, is deciding it's time to retire. Man, he's been such an important part of the district. What is it about Jeff and his work that's special?
You know, Jeff, 40 years as a director of technology and assessment, and I can't think of any two areas in education that have seen the volume of change over that period of time that he's seen, and he is to this day on the cutting edge of those areas, as well as being one of the first green belts in quality, and continuous improvement. Just an absolutely brilliant, dedicated person, a great friend of mine. Also, I've worked with him in this district and also in Elmbrook when I was there. And all of these retirements are, you're happy for them, but you're sad. He is a good friend to the district, a great friend to public education, a good friend of mine, and we'll miss him a lot.
And Bob Vitale at the high school is going to retire as well. He's a guy a lot of people know, football program, leader in the school when it comes to academics. Talk about Bob Vitale a little bit.
Bob is an institution in this district, 24 years in the district, and absolutely beloved by students, by staff, by the community. So those are big shoes to fill. When Amy put out the post on that, I mean, talk about something that went viral, and just a volume of comments from former students of the significance he had in their journey. He's always had a passion for every single kid finding their way. And another, just a good friend. I've got to work with him for 10 years very closely when I was principal at the high school. As dedicated as they come.
All right, there's an election coming up. It's February 15th. It's the primary for the school board. Talk about the importance of this election.
Yeah, there's 8 candidates vying for 3 seats on the school board. There will be a primary on February 15th. And with 3 seats coming up out of 7, this is really going to be a significant point in our system where these people have a major role in determining the direction of the school district. Our success relies on strong leadership, strong oversight, and a school board that can work together, bring all of their various expertise and perspectives in on one team. So I really, I'm hopeful and confident that our community will be engaged. We'll learn about those candidates and make a good choice for us.
As a matter of fact, there's a forum coming up which you'll be able to see through the district website. That's the best way, is just to get educated.
Yeah, just learn about the candidates, learn about their positions, what are their priorities. That forum will be coming up in 2 days on the 27th at Village Hall. It'll be recorded. That'll be available on our website, so people can go ahead and take a look at that and really learn a lot about each of these individuals.
It's the coldest week of the year. You managing to stay warm?
Yeah. Everything's going well.
Layers, you layering up?
Layer up for sure. And it's only going to be colder tomorrow, but at this point in the year, you start thinking the end is in sight.
Yeah.
So
we get to February, then it's short month, and we're headed the right direction.
Yes, absolutely.
He is Superintendent Corey Gala. Thank you so much, Corey.
Thanks, John.